everybody. Welcome to another Educator Moment, sponsored today by Chevron. My name is Jacob from Children's Museum Houston. I am the Maker Education Manager, and I'm here in our Chevron Maker Annex to show you a little bit about some of our 3D printers that we have here. And so 3D printing is something where we use thermoplastic polymers to actually manufacture 3D objects using this 3D printer. And so the process of 3D printing actually starts with something called digital design. So we use something called a CAD program, which stands for Computer Assisted Design, to design 3D objects on a computer. So it's exactly what it sounds like, Computer Assisted Design. And if you want to learn more about CAD programs, Computer Assisted Design programs, you can actually join me in a live CAD workshop that we do a few times every week. Check out the link in the description if you want to learn more about that. But today we're going to specifically talk about the 3D printing side of it. So we're going to look at our 3D printer and learn about all the different parts of that. All right, so when we're 3D printing, what we start with is something called a filament. And the filament we like to use is called PLA, which stands for polylactic acid. And it's actually one of the few types of thermoplastic polymers that is actually from a renewable resource. So it comes from, they sometimes use corn and sometimes use sugarcane and other plant-based things like that to create this thermoplastic. And if you want to learn more about polymers, you can actually check out one of our Educator Moments starring Gretchen, either the one about markers or the one called Case in Plastic, and she'll tell you all about polymers. So the polymer filament gets fed through this little feeder, which has gears that turn and push it up through this tube all the way to the extruder here. And this extruder has a nozzle at the end that becomes heated. So it can be heated anywhere from 180 degrees Celsius to 240 degrees Celsius. And as it's heated and as the filament is pushed through, the thermoplastic turns soft. That's what thermoplastic means. It means when it's heated, it turns soft and gets put layer by layer on the, actually this bed is heated as well, to build a 3D object. And so that is the mechanism of the filament going through the extruder. But how does it actually build the object? And so as this filament goes through the extruder, the way that it actually is able to build a 3D object is it takes the object you designed in a computer-assisted design program, turns that into code, which then controls 3 different motors. So there's 3 different motors. So we'll look at this one first. This first motor is what controls our x-axis, which means it goes left and right. So you can see it pushes the extruder left and right across this bar. Our next motor is right here, and what it does is it controls the y-axis, which moves the extruder forward and back. That's the y-axis. So as it spins, it's spinning this belt, which moves the entire bar forward and back. So we're going left and right, forward and back. The extruder's moving around, putting down melted thermoplastic, which then hardens when it turns soft. And finally, as it builds it up layer by layer, there's another motor down at the bottom that lets us move the z-axis. And that means up and down. So when the z-axis moves, that motor spins, and instead of the extruder moving, you'll see the bed is actually moving. So the bed slowly moves down layer by layer so it can build up a 3D object. And that is how 3D printers work. So let's see it in action. Are you ready?